This Nintendo Switch OLED has been through the ringer, let me tell you. I'm a thrifter. I love scoring something on Facebook Marketplace or winning a bid on eBay. That's the most exciting thing for me. So like my 3DS, my Vita, my DSi, my cameras, they're all secondhand. I'm a big fan of that. And the nature of secondhand tech is sometimes you're going to have to repair some shit or tinker with it. Or, well, I mean, even if I don't need to repair it, I'm going to want to tinker with it because that's what I love to do. I really wanted to get an OLED for cheap. It was 2024 and they were like 300 quid usually, at least, secondhand. So, yeah. This is in euros, by the way, if you want to translate that, whatever. I'm covering this up because this is a QR code in case I lose it. And I don't want to get spammed with people being like, hey, I found your Switch. Even though it's just them just getting it on the video. That's all that is. Hope you like the sticker. Lucy gave me that. She's got lots of little stickers. This was defective from the start. And I partially knew, that there were some things that the seller did not tell me that we discovered with time. It was listed for €200. That you would automatically assume on Facebook Marketplace that it's probably a scam. But I messaged them. They didn't respond. And then they took down the listing, which is very odd. It's not quite scam behavior, but it's not normal. I asked them why it was taken down, if it was sold, or what was the story, and they told me, the Joy-Con isn't working. I think it was this guy, the one on the right side of the console. And I said, you know what? Knock off 20 quid and I'll take it, broken Joy-Con and all. Because holy shit, €180 for an OLED. It came with the accessories, the dock, the charger. That's a steal. And if everything else is working fine, then like, geez. And I've been around, okay? I have the tools to clean things up and have a look inside and see what I can do. And that's what I did. First thing when I got home, well, maybe the day after, because I had to travel quite a bit to get it. It was worth it. I love going out of the way for a steal. I discovered that the contacts were corroded. They were like green. The pins were like, there was green in there, and the corrosion was causing it to the pins to go out of place. And the same was happening on the console. So I used a pipe cleaner, rubbing alcohol, an old toothbrush, and things like that to clean it. And I used a pin to try to kind of push the contacts back into position. And it wasn't working. Except when I plugged in another Joy-Con, it was working. And when I plugged this Joy-Con into another console, it was working. Very strange. These two didn't work together, but they worked with other things. What was going on was, this guy was basically fine. This guy is not fine. This guy was out of battery, and this guy was giving it no power. It gave no power to any Joy-Con. So if you had a Joy-Con that had battery and you plugged it in, it was fine. But if it didn't have battery, you'd get nothing. Eventually, I would go on to replace the contact completely. Completely replace this part. And that didn't even fix it. It's a mystery. But we do figure it out eventually. I mean, I was talking to my friend in France, and he said that it sounds like the issue is deeper, like in the motherboard, some small component that's less than a fraction of a millimeter, way beyond my pay grade. I don't know if it's even like reasonable to bother trying to repair that. So I kind of just left it as it is for a while. I bought a charger, a separate charger for the Joy-Con so that I could charge it. It's a little frustrating for a couple of reasons I'll get to, but hey, it's fine. Yeah, so why was this frustrating? Surely you can just manage playing it like a Game Boy. Well, I love portable consoles, but they hurt my hands. I play on the 3DS and I get cramps. I play on the Vita and I get cramps. They're light enough, but they're not light enough for my fingers, right? Like I've got issues with my joints, and I love the idea of the Switch because I can take out the Joy-Con and I'm holding this really, really light controller that isn't going to hurt my hands, and that I can hold in any position I want. So I can set this down on the table and just be playing like this, and oh, fuck, man, I can play forever that way. I don't have to put it away after a few minutes because my hands are hurting. That was the ideal thing about the Switch, so it was a little annoying that I had to worry about, oh, now that I have it disconnected, it's going to run out of batteries. So I kind of don't want to disconnect it, even though the whole point of me getting this is so that I could have it disconnected. I managed for a year, but I eventually just snapped, and I decided to do something about it. But we'll get to that. We're jumping ahead here. I haven't even got to the big reveal. Yeah, so when I first got this and I opened it up, it wasn't just the corrosion on the contacts. See, corrosion, there's usually a cause. Usually corrosion happens when moisture gets in. And when I opened this puppy up, I discovered more than just moisture. This was just right when I got it. There was a lot of white goop inside the console. And I actually saw, based on one of the screwdrivers, it looked like it had been opened before. So the seller on Facebook Marketplace was withholding some information from me that clearly their kid who was playing with the console had spilled some fucking baby milk into it or something. I don't know. It was white goop. What the fuck? Why is it white goop in my Nintendo Switch? It's crazy that the console was working perfectly fine with the white goop in it. Like the only thing was the Joy-Con. So I did what I did to clean it. I used cotton and tissues and isopropyl alcohol. I did what I could, but there was still like stains and stuff. It worked fine, apart from the Joy-Con again. So, that was that. I actually brought this to a repair person. Not to repair it, even though it was in need of repair. My whole point, the reason I wanted to get an OLED so cheap was because I wanted to mod an OLED. I modded my 3DS, I modded my Vita, I love that shit. But this is a whole other beast when it comes to modding it, because you've got to be insane. You gotta take this chip, pop it inside, do fucking like tiny, really precise soldering points with wires, and like, you think that sounds small? It's smaller than you think. It is ridiculously precise, way beyond my pay grade. You need, I needed to get someone to do it for me. So, and there's nobody who really offers those services in Ireland. So I had to kind of ask around. There was nobody local. I found someone in Dublin who would be willing to do it. Because like, not only were you like soldering things, which is like not too bad, you were scraping off layers of the motherboard to reach a specific layer to make a contact with. That's fucked up. That's risky. Like, this kind of mod actually does physically risk your console, like just breaking fully. Whereas, modding your 3DS, it's like, just follow the guide, put stuff on your SD card. It's chill. Modding your Vita, you do have to buy this one thing, which is an adapter for an SD card. That's all you need to buy. And then it's just a purely put some stuff on the SD card, follow the tutorial. Easy. Same with the DSi, same with all that shit. Not the Switch OLED. Fucked up. But the guy did it for me. There was some struggle. I had to research some things to troubleshoot what was going wrong with it, but we managed. We got it working in the end. He just had to resolder a couple points on a couple pins, and it was fine. It was working. I won't get into the software side of that because it's boring. It's a whole other story. I won't. But this is about the physical. This is about the real stuff, the stuff you can hold, even though it is 1/10 of a millimeter thick on the inside, and you probably can't really hold that. But you can see it. It's real. This thing is fucking real. He noticed the water damage, of course, and he did do me a favor, and he did some cleanup of that. Not enough, as we will later discover. He did not clean up the water damage quite enough. He charged me a little extra for it, and that's fine. He was doing a job that he'd never done before. It was weird. I was perfectly happy to pay him a little extra. That's not a big deal. That's more than worth it. So I modded my Switch. I guess I won't get into that because I'm afraid of Nintendo DMCAing me if I describe, oh look, you can do these emulators on here, and you can install Android and Lineage OS on here. If I say that, maybe Nintendo will be unhappy with me, but so I won't say that. So I was done with repairing it, even though sadly the charging still wasn't working for the Joy-Con, but I was done with repairing it. I was enjoying it. I was playing games. I'd never played games like this in years, since my DS or my 3DS, like 15 years ago. I really love games, but I never play them until I got this, and I started putting games on it, and now I'm playing games, and now I love it. I love my little single player puzzles and my little Shantae and Ori short colorful Metroidvanias, and I played Hollow Knight recently, which is a really good game, but oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god. I got 104% and I beat the Radiance, so I'm proud, I'm satisfied, but oh my god. I don't know if I'm ready to go for another experience like that and play Silk Song quite yet. Maybe another time. Maybe I'll give it a break. Yeah, been loving playing games. I've been logging them because I'm not playing on Steam. I don't have somewhere to log and share. So I use this site called backlogged.com. BACKLOGGD. I think it's spelled .com. I think it's .com. Just look up Backlogged game log and review site. It's great. I've been recording all my games and when I've been playing it. And I went back, I looked at my 3DS activity log and my Vita and my DSi, and I looked at the save files on the SD card of my DSi to log old game sessions from when I was a kid and shit, and log old games that I played years ago on the 3DS and stuff. So it's so satisfying that I have this big complete log of games I've played throughout my life. It's really, really cool. I love it. But nobody wants to join me because everybody plays games on Steam, and Steam just does that for them. So I'm not a PC gamer. I've had a really good PC that's really good at gaming, but the only thing I do on there is play multiplayer games like Rivals or Fortnite or other friend-swap stuff, which I love. But I'm not playing. I've bought a lot of single player games on Steam, but I've not played them. So anyway, eventually, as I said, I got tired of having to choose between hurting my hands and preserving the battery life, or being good to myself and my hands, but having the inconvenience of this thing not being able to charge in the console. So I went to a computer repair store. Not just any computer repair store. I went to the computer repair store that I have a receipt from 2008 when they repaired my DS after me and my brother were tugging it from each other and it fell on the floor. So I trusted that, they've been around this long. They certainly have the experience, the specific experience needed to repair this console and figure out what's going on with the charging of the Joy-Con. If anyone's going to do it within the country, it's them. And yeah, unfortunately they were in Dublin too, because everything's in Dublin, much like that last repair guy. I mean, okay, they were in Wicklow. They were just outside Dublin, so maybe I'll give them the pass. I'll give them the pass. But yeah. Before I went there were actually some non-repair things I did. I did replace some stuff in the Joy-Con. I replaced the sticks, just because I wanted to. These are TMOR joysticks. They are much more accurate and precise. They are more power efficient, so that they take less power as components. Not that will save much battery. It's only one component on the Joy-Con. It's not going to save that much battery, but it's nice. And in theory, these guys are going to last forever, in comparison to the default sticks on the Joy-Con, which eventually get drift and have to be replaced for like nearly everybody who owns a Switch. Really fucked up. I think Nintendo has been sued in multiple forms, in multiple places for that. So I'm very happy with these replacements. There was one little thing I noticed though, when I was taking it apart to replace it. There was a little button on the motherboard. It was for the OR button. It was just a button that clicked. It was loose. On this side, it was just solid. It was just normal. It looked like a tooth that was ready to come out. Thankfully, I put it back together and it worked fine. But this will come back. This will come back to haunt me. Not before I brought it to the repair shop, though, up in Wicklow. Long story short, he got the job done. He was a true professional. He knew his shit. He knew his shit. Turns out, it was water damage. I didn't believe it when he told me there was water damage, and that was probably what was causing the charging issue. I didn't believe him because I cleaned up the water damage myself. Another repair guy did more intense cleanup. I thought, okay, but I decided to pay him to because he just did the diagnostic. It didn't cost any money, but he said you have to agree to this, that you'll pay for this when it's done, and I said yes, because he's a pro. I trust him. If there's water damage still remaining and he can fix it, that's a good thing. Even if I don't fully trust that it will actually fix my issue. It fixed my issue. It was water damage. It was the last little bit of water damage. You know what else he found? You know what he found inside my Switch that I never saw? A grain of rice. So that mystery white liquid wasn't baby liquid at all. My theory now, because I know that this was opened before I bought it, because I saw white liquid in there, and because now this guy found a grain of rice in the console, my current theory, which I'm decently certain of, is they spilled something, water or juice or whatever, something more benign than a baby liquid. And they tried to fix it by opening up the console and immersing it in rice. If you don't know, that's not how it works. That's a myth. Do not do that. Just leave it somewhere to dry. Leave it on a radiator or in your hot press, or just leave it anywhere to dry. In the sun, whatever. Do not put it in rice. I don't know why how did they... Surely they could have dried it up a bit more, gotten rid of the water before putting the rice in. Like, how is there this much starchy goop left over in my console? They clearly left the liquid there. Like, I think what they did... Oh, fuck. No. So yeah, they spilled water in this thing, and they tried to fix it with rice, and that turned the water inside the console into starchy white goop inside my fucking console. And they didn't say anything about this before I bought it. They didn't mention anything about that, so yeah. And that was inevitably why the Joy-Con wasn't working. So at least they were honest about that, but like, buddy, it took me a year and a half to finally discover the origin of the goop. What the fuck? Anyway, the console itself, the base console itself, was now finally functioning. These guys were charging plugged into the console. I never had to worry about charging them because they were doing what they were supposed to. They were charging while I wasn't even thinking about it. And I was able to just use the controllers the way I had always intended. The way that does not hurt my hands nearly as much as holding the whole console. It was perfect. Except it wasn't perfect. There are just a couple of small things I won't get into. The Joy-Con were mostly working because I had taken them apart before to like replace things and to have a look at and see what I could do about the charging situation. I did end up kind of damaging a ribbon cable in here. This guy mostly still worked, but these buttons no longer worked. It wasn't a big deal, but if I wanted to play Mario Kart and pass the controller, it wasn't going to work. And you might be able to see that I have replaced the white shell that they came in with translucent ones, which are really cool. I mean, look at this. Hang on. Okay, because it's bright, because it's bright in the room, it's hard to see, but you can see the lights through the translucent case. Amazing. And you can see the motherboard, you can see the components, you can see the battery. Oh god. This is the dream. This is like those old consoles from like the turn of the millennium, the Game Boy Advance with the purple translucent, the Nintendo 64 had that shit. It was the dream. I love it. I could have done it with the console itself, but it doesn't look very nice. You just get a big metal plate that's used for heat spreading. That's all you see. It's not very interesting to look at, so it just wasn't worth doing. And I like the contrast between the full black and the translucent here. So, but when I was replacing the shells, you have to disassemble the entire thing. And that loose tooth that I was talking about, well, it came out. It came out. The OR button was completely disconnected from the motherboard. Not only was it disconnected, but it couldn't be put back on. If you know a thing or two, you'll understand. It wasn't just the solder that came off. I couldn't just resolder it back on. The copper, the contact that's in the motherboard that makes contact with the OR button, that allows you to put the component in, the copper came off with it. Like the motherboard, the part of the motherboard that's supposed to attach to that button is gone. It's gone with it. It's just a piece of copper that has snapped off. How the fuck are you supposed to fix that? So after I completely fixed this guy, I broke this guy. I went and broke the thing all over again. Thankfully, replacement motherboards are cheap on AliExpress. They were a tenner. It was a tenner to get this. I got one for both, and I got a replacement for the ribbon cable that I broke here, because it was the contact for the ribbon cable was also a bit broken. Like it was in there and it was working, but it was flimsy and it caused issues. But finally, now everything is good. These buttons are working again. These lights are fully working again. When I broke the ribbon cable, only 2 of these lights were working. But now, it's complete. Fully functional. Genuinely fully functional. Genuinely fully functional. Genuinely fully functional. Everything is as it should be after a year and a half of tinkering, putting up with shit, tinkering, putting up with shit, giving it to a repair guy who knows what he's doing, breaking it again, and fixing it again. I love my Switch OLED. I love it. One of the most interesting things I've done with it was booted into Android and used Mojo Launcher to play Minecraft Java Edition and go on a friend's server and play Minecraft on it while I'm like on the bus and shit. I loved doing that. It ran at 20 FPS, but like that's really good for Minecraft Java Edition running on the Switch. I mean, like thankfully Mojo Launcher allows you to install mod packs, like optimization mod packs and things like that. So that helped a lot. That's the story of my OLED. I hope to continue to use this for a long time. The scene it's going fast right now. There's a lot of emulators and ports and things being made unofficially by the homebrew community at the moment, and I'm excited for what's next. And there's plenty of games, loads of games I haven't played yet that have been released for years, and I'll probably get around to bit by bit. I'm currently playing Portal 2. Don't know how I feel about it. I think I prefer Portal 1. I think Portal 2 is a bit too big. Like, I don't know. I guess they were trying to impress graphically with what was capable on PC hardware at the time in 2011. I don't know. Yeah. Not that I dislike it. I do like it. I am enjoying it, but I think I prefer Portal 1. Anyway, thanks for listening to this wonderful story, for hearing out about a little tech passion of mine. I have a show that I'm working on, a very simple show where I interview people about pieces of tech like this that they have a story about, or that they just like, or that they're currently working on, or whatever, you know. I'm hoping to have a friend talk about some film cameras that he uses. Maybe I'll get Lucy on, and she can talk about some analog video stuff, because she's really into that. So stay tuned. It's going to be a bit more produced than this little impromptu story time. See you in the next one. Why didn't that stop recording?